Number two, I found this passage just so encouraging, so profound. All right, so he's spiritual antidepressant, or God's antidepressant. We said that Paul is in this state where he's kind of in a funk. He's just down. He's discouraged. And why not? He's been thrown in jail. He's been beaten. He's been whipped. He goes to Athens. He shares the gospel, and only a few folks come to Christ. There's no apostle to the Athenian church because of that, or epistle to the Athenian church. And so he's tired. I'm sure he's discouraged. I'd really like not to be beaten again. That would be nice. And it says, the Lord comes to Paul in a vision by night. And here's what he says. Be not afraid, but speak, and hold not thy peace. Hold not your peace. Well, for Jesus to say to Paul, don't be afraid, what does that mean? Paul was afraid. And again, we look at the Apostle Paul like this guy had no fears. He's courageous. He's just telling people, he's like shaking his apron off, and I'm going to the Gentiles. And he stares down the Athenian high council. He stares down leaders all across the Roman world. And yet he was also afraid. I don't know about you, but that encourages me. I think we all deal with fear, with anxiety, with the difficulties of life, with telling a family member about Jesus. What if they reject me? With inviting someone to church. What if they reject me? And so Jesus is so kind. He's so compassionate. He's so loving, isn't he? Because he could have come in here like, Paul, get up and get going. I told you to go to the Gentiles, and I told you it wasn't going to be easy. So what do you expect? And he just says, Paul, you're my child. Don't be afraid. And then he gives him what I consider kind of a three pieces of God's antidepressant. Now, I recognize that there is a clinical depression, that the brain is an organ, and that there can be a clinical need for things. But what I'm talking about here is the aspect of our lives where we wrestle with just being down, with being, in a sense, we call it depression. We don't want to get up and keep doing it anymore. Like, why does this matter? I don't want to be yelled at anymore. I don't want to have people coming against me anymore. Why can I just shut the windows, chain the door, and just cut out the world and just go move on from what God's called me to do? Because this is hard. So there's the three ingredients. I just thought it was beautiful. I am with you. That's number one. And no man shall set on you to hurt you, or set on thee to hurt thee. That's the second ingredient. For I have much people in this city. That's the third ingredient.